Well, once again, welcome back today again here for the My Team series. We're almost approaching the halfway point of this 2026 season. The first season in these regulations, I should say. Points on the board again, which we did last time out at Circuit de Catalunya, a P9, so not too shabby whatsoever. In terms of research, we need to make sure we get some more research done. The tyre blankets can help with tyre wear and with the front nose structure. Then the development, we could have had a massive upgrade package coming into this weekend, but instead, we're going to have to probably have it all for the Belgian Grand Prix, which isn't the worst circuit to bring an upgrade package because it's a mix of high speed and a technical section. Just now improving some of our facilities as well and the personnel. Yeah, last time out in Catalonia, poor qualifying, and then we had to fight from 19th and get up back into 9th after contact with Gasly in towards turn number 10. But nonetheless, we're still doing well in the Constructors' World Championship.
Okay, boss. Advanced talks have gone well, I must say. We're now at the stage where we can meet face-to-face again with them if you'd like. The agenda today will be trying to reduce some of their expectations to get a better deal for us. And, of course, we can always delay.
So with Gabriele Mini, we have advanced in our talks here. We are into the second stage of if we want to re-sign him for the next season. Obviously, we have other drivers on the market as well, so we have to have a look at them. But at the minute, it's Gabriele Mini who is the first to advance in the talks. Nonetheless, we can continue on now with our day, continue on with what we are doing to ensure that we can get the best car possible come at the end of the season. Nonetheless,
Hi, Chief. Just reminding you that because we've hit the halfway point of the season, our testing time will be reset based on our performance. In short, the better we do, the less testing time we get, and vice versa. Check your research area to learn more.
So we are fifth in the construction. We've been our resource modifier is now 90%. So nonetheless, we can just continue on with our day. It doesn't change a whole lot. Just around the test regulations. Then there was reminding us about our driver meeting. We have got the expanded production roles within the development side of things. So nonetheless, that should help us speed up the process and more failed upgrades, so we could have had a double upgrade package for the race weekend, but nope, we have not. We did get some upgrades on the car though, so we can just finish off with some more research now. Put the upgrades on as well before that, develop some more upgrades in the aerodynamics and the chassis and the blender. You're going to see here in a minute. Going to give Mini that and then give Victor Martins this. We have finally jumped up ahead of another car in terms of where we started. We have finally jumped up ahead of Williams into the R&D charts. So we was the 9th fastest, we're now the 8th quickest team. In terms of tyre allocation, we're going to go for the harder because this race could be a 2-stop. But in terms of driver, once again, Gabriele Mini, we're going to continue to keep closing up in the championship with the Italian driver. But anyway, here in the Red Bull Ring in Spielberg, let's go to the garage for qualifying for the Austrian Grand Prix race weekend.
High up in the mountains here at Spielberg, it's time for qualifying on what will be the fastest laps of the season. Stand by for qualifying at the Austrian Grand Prix.
On our first lap then in this qualifying session through turn 9 we go, a boatload of understeer, and you notice the top right it says only 2 minutes 40 left. That's because we had to change an engine component and we had a issue in the garage, so we was stuck in the garage for like 15 minutes. So we've got our first lap on the wall, 105.6. That was good enough to get us through. We was in the top 4 with 2 Cadillacs in the top 3, which is insane. So it's Leclerc from Piastri, Norris, Antonelli, Hamilton, Russell, Behrman for Haas, Bottas in 8th for Cadillac, and it's Lawson for Verstappen, Perez in 11th for Cadillac. So Cadillac having a phenomenal Q1, and ourselves in 12th along with our teammate Victor Martin. It's Lindblad, Gasly, Hulkenberg, Ocon, and the 7th to fall, Isaac Hadjar in the Red Bull, Alexander Albon, Gabriel Bortoletto, Carlos Sainz in the other Williams with a horrendous day in qualifying. It's Fernando Alonso, Colapinto and Stroll. Let's go on to Q2 then for our first run on a used set of tyres through turn 9, through turn 10. Looked a lot more clean. The front slid through turn number 10 as we make our way over the line at 105.996 ahead of the likes of Perez and Victor Martin, but nonetheless we had to improve. We had to go again as we make our way through turn 7, through turn 8, towards turn 9, turn number 10. Half a second up on the delta. There should be plenty, you'd think, to get us at least into the top 10, maybe a top 8 as we rotate around the final corner. Foot to the floor, 7 tenths up, crossing the line now. Make that near on 8 tenths up, a 105.216. That is into the top 8. And we risked staying in the garage, and we do make it through. It's Piastri from Hamilton, George Russell, Charles Leclerc, Kimi Antonelli, Lando Norris, Max Verstappen. Then it's Gabriele Mini, ourselves in P8. And it's Gasly Lawson. Then the 7 to fall. Hulkenberg, Ocon, Lindblad, Behrman, Bottas, Perez, and Victor Martin at the 7 to fall. On to Q3. Where, again, we're on a used tyre run as we rotate it around the final 2 corners. Keeping it nice and tight to the white line as we come across the line. A 105.513 into the top 6, obviously the slowest of the times that we have seen so far. Someone in the comments was asking for my camera settings as well. So there's my camera settings then for the My Team card, if you would like to take a screenshot of it. So there you are. I didn't forget about you, don't worry. Anyway, we can continue on then with our qualifying session. No one else has exited the pit lane. We are the only car on the circuit. Maybe track conditions got worse, but nonetheless, we're going to just power on here. So, make our way towards turn number 1. This is a big chance for us to try and jump up without anyone else improving. Through turn 1 we go and apply the power. Look at that, already basically a 1/10 of a second up as we make our way all the way towards turn 3. Flat through this left kink of turn number 2 before the braking. At turn 3, brake around just after 100 meter board, flick it in, use all of the curb, and then apply the power. A little bit of a moment as the battery helps spin up the rears. Make our way down towards turn number 4, where we'll be using the battery all the while. Before we do some Lyco, brake around again, just around 100 meters, just after it. Apply the power once again, apply the battery once again. Near on 3/10 of a second up as we make our way in towards turn number 6 before turn number 7 here. At the end of the middle sector, 2/10 up, 3/4 down on Kimi Antonelli in P5. Probably are going to improve on this time, but nonetheless, this was the Q3 set that we wasn't going to be able to have this tyre anyway after it, so we might as well have just gone for it. Around turn 9 and round the final corner we will go, and over the line we will go half a second up. It remains in P7, but we are closer to Antonelli and Hamilton than expected, closer to them than expected. And what surprised me, Leclerc, Gasly, and Lawson didn't go out. It's Norris on pole from Verstappen, Piastri, Russell, Antonelli, Hamilton, ourselves in 7th. It's our best ever qualifying that. And then it's Charles Leclerc, 2.9 seconds off. Then Gasly and Lawson, we're 3 seconds ahead of them in this qualifying session, which completely baffles me. I have no idea why they didn't go out again. Nonetheless, P7, it's a really good chance to fight for some very, very good points of Williams being down the order. Let's go to the grid for the Austrian Grand Prix.
Welcome from the beautiful Styrian Mountains for another chapter in the story of the Austrian Grand Prix. The Spielberg circuit then is situated 700 metres above sea level, with just 10 corners making up one of the shortest laps of the season. One time around here is a distance of around 2.6 miles, with the best overtaking chances into turn 1 or the tight uphill of turn 3. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Lando Norris put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And Max Verstappen lines up alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Piastri, Russell, Andrea Kimi Antonelli, and Hamilton, Mini, Leclerc, Gasly, and Liam Lawson, Hulkenberg, Ocon, Arvid Lindblad, and Behrman, Bottas, Perez, Victor Martins, and Isaac Hadjar, Albon, Bortoletto, Sainz, Alonso, Colapinto, and Lance Stroll brings the grid to a close. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. And alongside me in the commentary box today, a man who I always look up to, which is easier said than done, Anthony Davidson. Well, they've done so well this year, the 12th team. But that means that next year could be that little bit tougher, because as we all know, the better you do, the higher you finish in the championship, the less development time in the wind tunnel you get the following season.
Very good, Crofty, very good. And that's exactly true. You know, they'll have a lot more time than teams that have done better than them in the championship. And it all adds up. That extra time you can spend in the wind tunnel, that's performance. And the top teams would be loving, wishing that they had that time. But it goes to this team. It hasn't been easy for them, like you say, but there is that silver lining.
Well, here we are on the formation lap then, where we line up alongside Hamilton, and every single driver around us within 2 places, 2 behind and in front, are on the hard tyre. So, already a split in strategy. I kind of forgot what I was going to say there. Already a split in strategy. And there we go, line up on our grid. I wanted to apply a bit more throttle just to get a little bit more forward, but nonetheless we are 1.1 metres away from the optimal grid position, but the medium tyre should favour us on this first lap as we go to the 5 red lights on. Here in Austria, the Red Bull Ring doesn't disappoint. We go racing. Hamilton got away Mel in the first phase. In the second phase, we have a brilliant start, already gaining the likes of Kimi and Russell. Around the outside of the Scarlet Ferrari will go through turn 1. Minor contact between the pair of us as we apply the power, apply the battery, check to see if we got any damage. No damage there. As we're on the run down towards turn number 3, we're going to be gaining with the wire. Hamilton with some very good top speed. 3 rest behind. We go late on the brakes, lock up our tyres, have to take evasive action, but then it actually kind of favours us. We're now 3 wide with Piastri and George Russell. Towards turn number 4 we go. We're now on the outside of Antonelli. It's actually now ourselves and Russell wheel to wheel. Antonelli got swarmed. We go late braking, and from P7 up into P3 in the Austrian Grand Prix. Replay what happened on the start. 5 lights on, and then they go out. Verstappen got away phenomenally off the line. Lando Norris looks like he was beaten here as we go into turn number 1, but Norris continued to fight this one around the outside of the Dutchman as they apply the power on the rundown towards turn number 3, side by side for the lead of the Austrian Grand Prix. Norris coming back at him with a bit more battery, and Norris gets through. Further behind it was 3 wide between them. You see us going wide, take evasive action. It's Russell, Piastri, and Russell, Piastri, and Antonelli going to battle as well. We fly past the pair of them on board Piastri, front row seats to this. He goes for the outside on Kimi Antonelli, and 3 wide behind as we get by Russell on the inside. Contact between the 2 Mercedes and Piastri as well. But nonetheless, back to our race. We're challenging Verstappen for second in the race. Verstappen goes defensive. I tried to think of sailing around the outside, but I haven't got the confidence on the brake to do that as of yet. But then heading to the next lap, lap number 3, rinse and repeat. We're closer to Verstappen, trying to outbrake him around the outside. Verstappen chops that one off, apply the power, and we have to settle in for third still. But nonetheless, through the hairpin, look how much closer we are. Apply the power on the rundown towards turn number 4. The battery will be aiding us as we make our way towards the breakers. So Verstappen's out of it, and we go through into second place in the race, into second in the Austrian Grand Prix. But Verstappen will not be done yet. I am sure of it. As towards turn 3 we go. He looks for the outside line. He then looks for the inside line. Late braking on the inside. And the time that we gained on Norris instantly gone in a matter of meters here. Verstappen gets through. We try to cut back, but I can't get the traction to make our way towards turn number 4 and then towards turn 9 on this occasion. We're going to think of coming into the pit lane, which we are. We're going to do the opposite of Max Verstappen. Through turn 9 we go, into turn 10, into the pit road we are, and it's now ourselves, the first driver to come into the pits to initiate the pit stop brigades, to initiate the undercut strategy here. To get track position ahead of your rivals, use the fresher tyres to your advantage, and we peel into our box, hoping for no slow stop as we rev up the engine, as we await the battery fully recharged in the pit lane. Good stop, 2.4 seconds, and then on pit exit we go, hoping to come out of that little quad or quintuple. We go through turn number 1 and apply the power. We're going to be just behind all of them here. Ocon as well, looking to get involved. The pair of them gaining on Ollie Behrman ahead. It's 3 wide, just like the first lap between the 2 Mercedes and Piastri. Side by side they run, just trying to get the almighty cut back on 2 of them. We apply the power, get past Behrman. Now looking for the move on Colapinto. Colapinto seems to be low on the battery, so we fly by. Then into turn 4, can we make a dive bomb move on the inside of Carlos Sainz? Yes, we can. Get it stopped at the apex, snaps the opportunity of him going around the outside off, and into 14th place. Now we're on the rear of his teammate Alexander Albon. We go through turn 3 and apply the power. Towards turn number 4 we go. We've done a different strategy. We normally always go for the one stop. We're trying something different today, as we're going to go brave on the brakes, late braking, move on the inside line, getting past the Williams of Alex Albon. Then this one should be a bit more plain sailing to the outside of Nico Hulkenberg on the run down to turn 3, and we should be fully ahead. Hulkenberg actually re-challenges under braking here. We're going to leave him the room. And the outside line will favour us. With the momentum, we get past him into the 12th position. Then drivers into pit lane. Now we make up another couple of positions. Piastri and Verstappen. So the undercut has worked. We have undercut Max Verstappen. Yellow flags because Lance Stroll has gone out of the race. And you see here, we're going to be fighting Liam Lawson. If you want to see how Lance Stroll did the DNF, he tries the inside of Bottas, does Lawson. Then we look around the outside, but then here's a replay. Before we sow what could be a potential overtake, we go back to it. Stroll was out of the race. We go around the outside. Yellow flags are still waving, so we get a legal overtake. Lift off to give it back momentarily, but then we continue to fight this one, sailing and dancing all the way around the outside of Liam Lawson. But now, in towards turn number 9, we go. Bottas peels into the pit lane. We easily to go around the outside just to make sure we don't make contact. And Hadjar as well. Up next, Hadjar trying to help his teammate Verstappen by going defensive. Around the outside we will go of Isaac Hadjar, applying the power into 4th position in the race, and then we make our way towards turn number 1. Lando Norris, who did pit earlier, is now caught up to us. We are now the race leader in the Austrian Grand Prix. We do some lift and coasting. Norris tries it. Lando on the inside at turn number 1, but not close enough to make it properly stick. But then we saw some wild pace after this. Lando Norris fell off a little bit in terms of pace, but then maybe just doing some tyre management to ensure he's competitive towards the latter stages of the stint, because now look at him, Lando Norris right on the rear of us as we go towards turn number 9. We're going to go defensive to the inside at turn number 9. Side by side we run with the McLaren, but Lando Norris sails and dances with a quite the easy move, you have to say, all the way around the outside at turn number 9. On the rundown towards turn number 1 we go. Are we close enough for a dive bomb move? No, not on this occasion, but maybe, just maybe, we've got the battery to challenge Norris in towards turn number 3. Gaining in the slipstream, gaining all the while. Norris going defensive. We're going to the outside line, trying to fight the world champion and the championship leader for the win of the Austrian Grand Prix, a circuit where Lando is also good at. Now on the rundown towards turn number 4, it's going to have to be something very audacious if we are to make it stick. Maybe going to try and scare him off the road. Late on the brakes, Norris locks up, seeing us in his mirrors. Luckily, we don't run into the rear of him, but nonetheless, it was a bold attempt. Yellow flags with Carlos Sainz now. Carlos Sainz out of the race, but then back to our battle with Max Verstappen. Verstappen through on the inside. We're now basically pushing him through the exit. On the run down towards turn number 4, will Verstappen be able to hold on to it? Yes, he will. The battery will favour the Dutchman, and then we're going to peel into the pits. Again, initiating the undercut. Lando Norris as well has come into the pit lane. The race leader on the medium compound tyres will probably go to the hard tyre now. We get it stopped for our pit box here. Lando will have to wait for us to get through, which he does very nicely. Lando can now get released, and then we peel into our pit box here, where we need to hope for no slow stop. We want to be able to have a good rest of the race. The fronts go on nicely. The rear right does not go on. And that's cost us probably 2.4 seconds, maybe, around that. It's cost us the position to Hadjar. Hadjar still has to pit again, of course, but it would have been so much nicer if we come out ahead of Hadjar, because now we've got one more move to make, but then as we make our way towards the next lap on towards turn 4, the rain has begun to fall. As we catch up to Hadjar, the rain begins to fall. We go brave on the brakes, late move to the inside line to get the position, to get the top 6 in the race. But then, has the undercut work? You see Verstappen on the pit exit there. You think if we didn't lose those extra 2 seconds, we could have been in contention here. Through the corner, through turn 1, towards turn 2, and through we go. The undercut has just about worked. We have just come out ahead of Verstappen. Verstappen's going to challenge us now towards turn 3. Outside line for the Dutchman. We're going to treat him like he did to Charles Leclerc. Squeeze him out wide. And Verstappen forced to back out of it. On the rundown now towards turn 4. We haven't got a lot of battery here to really defend the Dutchman here. Towards turn 4 we go. Verstappen to the outside line. We're to the inside line. Trying to keep us tight to the racing line as we can because it's the driest line. But then apply the power on the rundown towards turn number 6. Verstappen will be gaining with a while. Verstappen to the inside line. We're going to look to sail and fight around the outside line. The medium against the hard tyre. All the way around the outside. Trying to squeeze Verstappen now. Verstappen goes wide. Minor contact between the pair of us. Minor front wing damage as well for us. It shouldn't be anything that affects us all too much. But front wing damage for us, and now it's ourselves v Kimi Antonelli. Late braking, we're going to try and go 100 metre board. The car doesn't lock, the car just locks up. And so you go on, apply the power, we're off the road. Antonelli continuing to fight this one. We're going to have to give this one up, but we didn't really have much of a choice. Towards turn number 4 we will go now. Will we go brave to attack Kimi once again? Late on the inside with a bold and a brave, a brilliant move to make that move stick once again. And then we head on to some more duels with Kimi Antonelli towards turn 9. Kimi on the inside line. It's wheel to wheel. We're asking what the conditions are like with the tyre. We're trying to fight this around the outside. Antonelli on the inside of 9 and 10 gets the move done. And on the rundown towards turn number 1, we're once again gaining in the decision count. Are we going to go brave to the inside line? We are, but once again the tyres lock up and off the road again we go. On this occasion though, we might have to let Kimi back through. You see I'm just waiting for him here, trying to let him back through because we kind of have to because of the regulations. But in towards turn number 3 we go once again. Now taking the outside line, we're now going to be actually pushing him. Look how slow he's going on the exit of the corner here, and we're just absolutely shoving him through. The battery will aid us on the rundown towards turn 4. One of the championship protagonists doing battle here with ourselves on the inside. We go once again with a lovely dive bomb move, but then we head back to turn number 3. Kimi diving on the inside line. We go late braking again. Front right locking up all the while. Under braking, we leave the circuit again. Rejoin just safely enough. Warning for track limits here. Mark saying it's time to change the tyres, but I don't think it is. Obviously it probably is, but I don't think we should. I don't think we're gaining it all back. Anyway, in towards turn number 9, turn 10 we go. We chop Antonelli's attack off. I think we should try and brave it here because look at the time we're gaining to Verstappen. Verstappen's struggling off so much. We pulled away from Antonelli. And now, on to the penultimate lap of this race. We've got the gap to Antonelli. And we're the one gaining on Verstappen with a double front lockup we go. Off the road we will go. And Perez in the Cadillac. On the intermediate tyres. Gets through. And Perez will be now challenging Max Verstappen, I'm sure of it, in towards turn number 3. We go, we have the chance to gain on Verstappen, apply the power, little snap. Look at the time we gain, 2, 3, 4 tenths we gain on the Dutchman under traction. And Verstappen seems to have no temperature. We seem to have all the temperature here. Through turn 4 we go, sorry, not turn 9. Apply the power again, the rear snaking around. But look at the time we have got on the Dutchman in the traction zones. This is where we're gaining on the Dutchman. Through the corners though, the front just will not bite. And we go a little bit wide. Verstappen does get a 10th back, the 2 tenths back through there. But then through turn 7 and turn 8 we go. We gain some time back and applying the power. Verstappen almost gets a second away. And now we're about to head on to the final lap of this race. Look at that train, by the way, going towards turn number 1. The race leader is in that. Lando Norris is stuck in that at the minute as we apply the power and head down towards turn number 1. Look at the time gained through 9 and 10. Verstappen's now within our grasping distance here. And Verstappen's now within reach of being able to get maybe second in the race, to get our second best result in Formula 1. On the rundown now towards turn number 4. We're not going to be close enough for a move as boost mode gets disabled. Boost mode gets disabled. We now have half straight mode as that means lock up again. Then apply the power, pushing Verstappen through. Verstappen struggles under traction. Through we go into second in the race, and the traction just completely favoured us. Verstappen coming back though towards turn number 4. He dives on the inside line. We run wheel to wheel. We have the outside line. We have the grip. We have the temps to be able to just out accelerate the Dutchman. But then to the front of the field, Lando Norris, the pole sitter, the world champion after a couple scrappy races. Lando Norris will win the Austrian Grand Prix ahead of us all. We were gaining on Norris. We got to the gap to under 9 seconds. The gap was like 10.7 at one point. But then, through turn 9, through turn number 10. Norris, your race winner. But we apply the power, sliding on the exit. For the first time ever, Gabriele Mini is on a Formula 1 podium. In Spielberg, he's done it. P2.
And here he comes. It's all go, go, go for Lando Norris as he takes the checkered flag and wins.
I mean, it looked like they were in a different category at points during the race, led every lap. I mean, what more can we say?
It's what every driver imagines when they start out on their long road towards Formula One. And for our lucky three today, here's the podium waiting for them. He raises the trophy over his head. Lando Norris, head and shoulders above the rest today. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action, and I can't wait to see what's next.
Well, here we are then in terms of the race results. Norris wins it from ourselves in P2, then Max Verstappen in third, Kimi Antonelli P4, George Russell P5, then it's Piastri in P6, Charles Leclerc 7th, Lewis Hamilton P8, Ferrari 7th and 8th again, another probably woeful weekend for the Scarlet team. Hadjar from 18th to P9, Gasly getting another point for the Alpine team, then it's Lawson, Bottas, Albon, Ocon, Colapinto, Behrman, Bortoletto for Audi, that's Perez, Victor Martin for our team, and then Lindblad, Alonso, Hulkenberg, Carlos Sainz and Stroll, your two DNFs. In terms of the driver standing, then Norris extends his lead now back to 29 points, ahead of Oscar Piastri in P2. Antonelli does gain on Piastri slightly, same as George Russell. There's Charles Leclerc in 5th, ahead of Max Verstappen in 6th. It's Lewis Hamilton in P7. Ourselves with Martin in P8, and then Hadjar gains 2 points on him. We move up into 10th with Gabriele Mini, jumping ahead of Carlos Sainz for P10. Carlos Sainz in P11, Alex Albon P12, and then it's Lawson, Gasly, Colapinto, Lindblad, Hulkenberg, and then the drivers still yet to score: Perez, Alonso, Bortoletto, Bottas, Behrman, Ocon and Stroll. The constructors standings then, McLaren lead the constructors now by 63 points ahead of Mercedes, who are still gapping the rest of the competition. It seems to be a two-horse fight for the constructors title. Ferrari in P3 ahead of Red Bull in P4, ourselves in P5, extending our gap ahead of Williams by another 18 points. Williams sat in P6 on 35 points. Then it's Racing Bulls in 9, Alpine on 8, Audi on 1, and then the three teams still yet to score: Cadillac, Aston Martin, and Haas are still yet to score in this Formula 1 2026 season. Red Bull Ring, you did not disappoint. The weather threw a twist, it threw a turn, it threw chaos into the Grand Prix. But nonetheless, thank you for watching once again. We're flying through the series. Like and subscribe for more. Ciao, adios.